Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
The Gleaner had the article out. What were you answering? What was the question posed at you? First of all.
Well, the question posed was, do you believe that Jamaica should concentrate on getting the ball to Leon Bailey as a means to being successful on the field? And when I was asked that question, I answered very candidly. What Jamaica needs right now is to have the proper chemistry on the field, both offensively and defensively, so that we can put together a cohesive unit that can get wins for us, because that's what we need in the remainder of our fixtures. And I don't believe in concentrating on just one player. Leon Bailey is just one cog within the wheel. We need to have a proper system. There are several other players on the team that have to make the team a cohesive unit. So my focus would be trying to see how well we can transition from defense to offense, and similarly from offense to defense, so that we don't give up any more goals and we get as much goals as we can. Because if we have any aspirations of qualifying for Qatar, we're going to have to win and we're going to have to score goals. So that was the context of my answer. And I also made the point that you can't really concentrate on Leon at this point in time, because he's not in any. And a lot of the games he hasn't played for Jamaica in this qualifying round is because he has been out injured, and he has just come back, played 2 games for Jamaica, and is now back on the injury list with Aston Villa, not playing right now. So he's possibly very doubtful to be available for the 2 January fixtures. So he will have to look, the coach at his Paul Hall will have to now look at other players to utilize and concentrate on, so that he can get those maximum points in those 2 games. So that was the context of my answer to the journalist.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Price, in fairness, you think Mr. Hall was trying to get the Jamaican on the bandwagon of the Reggae Boyz, like he was saying that we're using Leon Bailey as a poster boy and everybody must join in. You think that was the reason for he saying that, giving Leon Bailey the ball? You think that's may be one of the reasons he said that? In rather saying that
possibly he was looking for somebody with flair.
Right. But you could
he's looking for somebody who can open up a can of worms.
But you could say give Ravel the ball. Ravel is a player with flair also.
Regardless of whoever is your playmaker on the team.
Right.
The team definitely, the entire unit to be cohesive and to be on the same wavelength, so that we can get attacking forays on our opposition's defensive unit. And I think that was the point that I was trying to make. So that you can't concentrate on one player. You have to look at the sum of all players. And Leon is just one cog in the wheel.
Right.
Yeah, but we understand that, and that's facts. But at the same time, though, one don't want to agree with Paul Hall, because we want to improve our better players. And as I said before, Leon is not, on form right now. So maybe after the January window, we can see that coming to play. Because a lot of persons might say, we need Leon Bailey to qualify. What say you?
I am somebody who doesn't concentrate on one player. I'm going to be very honest. Talent, I want him to do well. I am one of his greatest supporters. But the fact is that a team is made up of all 11 players, and everybody has to play their part. What Jamaica needs at this point in time is to be playing in as a cohesive unit where all the players are on the same wavelength, where we are trying to get Jamaica to Qatar. And it's going to take a Herculean task from all the players, not just Leon, but there's Antonio, there's a lot of players, there's Flemings, there's a lot of players out there, Earl Morrison. There are several players there who have to play their part, and everybody has to contribute. But what we really need the team to do as a cohesive unit, going both forward and coming back in defense. Our transitional game is much too slow and much too predictable, and we need to start moving this ball around a lot quicker by having the quality players. Quality players that we need on the field have to be match fit, injury-free, and raring to go. It's up to the coach to select the best 11 out there to give Jamaica the required result. And I'm in all the support that any coach, whether it's Theodore Whitmore, Paul Hall, Bradley Stewart, anybody, any coach that coaches Jamaica, I'm in support of them as long as they can put the best 11 out that can get us the required result.
Coach, I'm glad you bring up the point that you are, totally with the coach, because I think the narrative that was being painted was that the local coaches, somewhat were not with the coach. That bad narrative. So I'm glad you come out now to put that to rest.
No, but you say, interpretation is a hell of a thing, and people always take things out of context. I answered the question. I answered the question as best as I could, based on what the journalist asked me, and I answered very directly, very explicitly.
True. Lost in translation.
Yeah. It's a pity we can't get the other coach like Mr. Dookie and it was Bradley, right? That also makes similar
Bradley
comments.
Stewart.
Well, which was blown out of proportion. You understand? And it makes it seem like some of the local coaches are ready to draw straws, and go on the fence against the coach.
Not at all.
But it's not so.
Not at all. Look, every coach in Jamaica is supportive of the national program, wants the country to do well, and wants the country to qualify for the Qatar World Cup. Every single coach. Now, if you ask us questions, then we're going to give honest answers. And I think we gave honest answers.
And that's the thing with me then. A lot of persons saying, why are these local coaches coming out now and talking? But I'm saying to myself, you've been asked a question, so you have to answer. Maybe prior to this, you weren't being asked certain questions.
Right.
So, it's a funny thing.
As a coach, I am aware of the type of scrutiny that coaches get. So I'm very aware of what Paul Hall is going through, and on the head lies the crown that is going to make the decisions, and Paul is going to come under a lot of scrutiny also, like any coach.
Right. A lot of persons were impressed with his press conference. I don't know if you got a chance to hear his responses to the questions. What you thought about?
I heard it.
What you thought about his vision for the team?
He has a good vision. Every coach has their own philosophy. I'm sure Whitmore had his philosophy. Now Hall will have to come and impress with his philosophy. His philosophy sounds very sound, but it's to actually go out there in the field and get the players to do it. And I believe that, the very most important thing is to have proper player selection so that you can get the best 11 out there at all times, despite wherever in the world these players are. Get the chemistry and the best players out there and you'll get results.
Yeah, definitely. Any questions from the comment section? Mr. Price won't be here the entire night. Any questions from the comment section? Tiga, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I haven't seen any question coming in. All right, there was an article posted today about Paul Hall excited about Jamaica challenge, and he was saying that Jamaica can be also benefit from QPR, as you know that he was managing the QPR, Queen's Park Rangers, and he said Jamaica can be benefit. Oh, you see that, Mr. Price? Can the local lads benefit from Paul Hall being here?
Well, he mentioned extension the Caribbean. He said the Caribbean could benefit.
Extension Caribbean, but we're just talking.
Well, I'm happy. I would hope that Paul would use his influence to see how best he can get Caribbean and especially Jamaican players in the English League. But if you look at our entire squad of about 30 players, which are the core group of players, most of the players play overseas throughout the entire world. Right. Not only in the diaspora, but throughout the entire world. We had a player this week that is going to be playing for Spartak Moscow. So it just shows you the length and breadth where we have players that represent the country. Right now, our defender is now one of our defenders is now playing in the Australian A League. So we have players the length and breadth of the globe, and what we need to do is to get the best aggregation together to go out on the field and represent Jamaica well and do us proud. And the selection is the important factor at this point in time.
I have a serious question for you, Coach.
Go ahead, Eddie.
You're free to leave alone if you want. But sure. Did you apply for the vacant post?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
All right, we have a question coming in from
why is that? Why is that, Coach?
I don't think it was the most prudent thing at this point in time.
Okay. You were saying, Tigat?
Yeah, we have one question coming in from the comment section. Adrian Adman, DTM. He said, your thoughts on Mr. Paul Hall's statement of pressing and attack?
Personally, I have no problem with pressing and attack. As long as the entire team does the press together and they press together as a unit, I have no problem. What you don't want is pressing where it's disjointed, where not all the players are pressing, and somehow the opposing team can have an opportunity to transition and counter on us. So if we press together and we can get the ball higher up the field and then start the attack, all is well. And if Mr. Hall believes that this is the way to go, I would encourage him to go at it, as long as he can get the players to buy in and everybody to press together as a unit and get the ball high up the field, and we can start attacks very quickly, especially with our players who are blessed with a lot of speed.
Okay, beautiful.
Sir Price, Hall mentioned a couple of times about commitment of players. I know that you're in and around the national teams. How big of a thing you think this is? Because a lot of persons have been saying that certain players are not committed enough. What do you think about that? Paul Hall said you want to pick players that are committed.
Well, the whole thing about it is the identification of the commitment of the players. I'm sure Paul Hall had been with the team up until this point, so he must be aware of the type of a commitment that is required for the Jamaica team. And therefore, that's why I continue to say it's very important that his selections are on point. He must know the people who he can depend on and the people who he believes is committed to the cause and trying to help Jamaica, despite the position that we are in, try and qualify for the Qatar World Cup. So commitment is definitely very important, and I believe that Mr. Hall must have those players at the top of his agenda to invite the committed players who can help us along the way.